Welcome to Cake Bites, where we go rapid fire with this week's rule breaker. Fast questions, real answers, zero corporate polish. I'm your host, Elizabeth Bieniek. Let's dig in. All right, we have Anika Jackson for Cake Bites. Anika, you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Do it.
All right, let's do it. What is one completely unrelated thing you do outside of work that you think makes you better at your job?
Volunteer. I have been volunteering. Well, my mom was a social worker and my grandmother on my dad's side was a social worker. So I saw them sometimes in those roles, or I would hear about it. I wasn't sure if I wanted to be a social worker or a business person, as I alluded to, I think, on our full interview. And Junior League of Los Angeles is actually where I really got more emotional intelligent business skills and more learning about how to run teams, because it was teams of volunteers, right? How to understand dynamics of different people, how to bring people along when you're trying to make hard decisions, how to put together events or projects. All of those are things that could transfer to nonprofit work, to for-profit work. And that is really where I feel like I cut my teeth and got more business knowledge than any book, any degree, anything else I'd done in life. And so that's absolutely something that has stayed with me. I continue learning through that in different other organizations as well. I've started my own nonprofits out of that, and it has directly affected how I show up and work.
Love it. That's awesome. Okay, next question. What's the worst career advice you've ever received?
I will say this has been in the last few years. I was working as a VP at an agency, marketing agency, and I was being primed to take over in leadership eventually. But what I found is that a lot of times you work with people, and this can be a hard thing, who might not have they're not in the same place in life necessarily. I'm a single mom. My daughter is the most important person, thing, being, entity, the best work I'll ever do. And I won't sacrifice time with her to work longer hours. And I was told, when your daughter goes to college, you're going to be the best salesperson because you're going to have so much time and you're going to make the most money. And this was somebody who did want me to work 70, 80 hours a week when I'm a mom as well. And I know there are people that do that, but that was not for me. And that really made me go, this is not where I'm supposed to be.
Sometimes you need to hear it that way for clarity. Next question. Do you have a favorite quote or mantra?
Yes. I always say, be kind whenever possible. It is always possible. That's from the Dalai Lama. It really resonates with me because there's being nice and there's being kind. And I think we can always approach things with kindness. You don't always want to be nice to everybody, right? You might be in a bad mood. But part of being kind is trying to put yourself in somebody's shoes to understand why they're reacting or doing the things that they're doing. Yeah. And when you are able to do that, it decreases the stress level. It decreases the fight or flight and the want to fight somebody or like have barbed words back and forth. And so I bring that with me everywhere I go.
What is one favorite non-business book that you love and why?
I'm going to go back to my childhood, Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I feel that a lot of what's going on nowadays, we have great technology. Fahrenheit 451, you walk into your house and your walls are TV screens and it's like a family communicating with you on you coming home. So those are some things that are happening already. There's also firefighters put books on fire. They don't put out fires, right? And Fahrenheit 451 is supposedly the temperature at which books burn. There's a lot of censorship. There's a lot of things people don't want us to have. And so that book just really resonated with me. And the main character has so much hope. And there's a whole underground community, people who are still holding on to books. And I find joy in that. And that's actually disruptive too, right? So it goes, well, I'm just thinking about this on Tuesday. How do we do things differently? How do we keep going forward and being able to have the capacity to learn and grow and think for ourselves? And that book has always stood out to me for that reason.
Adding it to the list. All right. Question on legacy. What do you want to be remembered for?
I would say kindness. I want to be remembered for being kind. And I want to be remembered for caring, truly caring about people. I think if there's a difference with the way, again, going back to my students, I put a lot of intention and care into their paths. They often use me as a reference. They often keep in touch with me years after I've taught them, and they come to me for advice, whether it is career, but they feel like I see them as whole people, and then I'm able to give that to them. I think it's because I'm a mom also and because of my nonlinear career, but I think that's also, it really helps me find a connection point with them. I think that people who are involved with me in the podcast world, people who come on my podcast also see that I'm really interested and engaged. So I just want to be remembered for putting good out into the world and in the form of kindness and caring.
And this is Cake on Tuesday, so I have to ask my last question. What is your favorite kind of cake?
If it's ice cream cake, grasshopper pie, which is mint chocolate chip, and it is regular cake. The first thing that stood out to me was German chocolate cake or German cake.
Oh, yeah, German chocolate cake. That's the super chocolatey one.
Yeah, with
Nice.
but with a little bit of like the coconut, right?
Ooh.
Yeah. So I haven't
All
had
right,
that. I don't have that very often, but that's the first thing that popped to mind.
Awesome. It's time for some cake then. Thank you, Anika, for joining us for Cake Bites. Thanks for joining another Cake on Tuesday celebration of beautiful disruption. Please share it, review it, and find more innovative stories at podcast.cakeontuesday.com. I'm Elizabeth Bienyik. Be bold, stay curious. Now go have some cake.